Heading home to campaign, Democratic leaders in Congress decided to call off controversial votes on taxes and spending. In the House, a vote for adjournment passed by one vote. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, after 39 members of the Democratic majority joined Republicans in voting no. Time to let out the Willis watchdogs. Al Lewis is a columnist for Dow Jones Newswires in Denver. Lindsay Piegza, am I saying that right? Isn't it?
You've got it.
Beautiful. Is an economist with FTN Financial. And Paul Westcott is the host of White House Brief. Paul, I want to start with you. Red meat for you, this story.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, Democrats are fracturing now with their own party, and that's what we're going to see throughout the campaign. I mean, I've already seen a Democratic ad insulting liberalism in Washington, saying that they want to take all of our guns away. So Democrats are really in a position where they're eating their young.
Al, are Democrats really fracturing? That seems like an overstatement to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a little audio problem there. You know, I think this is a brilliant move on their part. I mean, the way to get elected in Washington, D.C. is to do nothing. You know, the Republicans have been doing nothing for years, and a lot of them are holding on to their jobs. I think the Democrats are giving it a try. Basically, they're just taking this off the table for the election, and there's still time to come back to it. I frankly think that there's too much pressure on everyone to, keep taxes low right now, because our economy isn't turning around, and raising taxes is the wrong thing to do at this point.
All right, Lindsay, you look at this. Are we paying these folks too much in Congress? It seems like they go on vacation, they take recesses. Maybe that's what we want them to do. I don't know.
I don't know about that, and I like the pressure to keep taxes low. Right now, we're trying to grow this economy out of a recession, and the last thing you want to do is have excessive government spending, be that to vacations or public sector salaries, but also we need to rein in the idea that look, we don't need all of these excesses in terms of taxes, slowing down business growth, which is essentially what we need. We need job creation.
We need some job creation, that's for sure. All right, well, let's move on to the next story. SEC Chair Mary Shapiro is planning on telling lawmakers her agency will be forced to hire hundreds of new people in order to follow the new FinReg law. The law requires the SEC to write 100 rules, conduct 20 studies, and establish 5 new offices. And the rules aren't this big. The rules are this big. And, of course, we, the American taxpayers, are going to be forced to foot the bill. Lindsay, does this make sense to you?
Here we go, right back to more government spending, extending the bureaucracy, taking on an additional 800 public sector workers. For what? Conducting studies, and hopefully these studies actually do prove that we need to keep regulation in check, not do a complete 180 to over-regulation. But, again, we're growing the bureaucracy at a time when we don't need to be doing that.
Al, I think we got you back now. You there, sir?
Yes, I'm back.
Excellent.
All right.
Can you weigh in on this one? I want to know what you think.
The SEC is hardly a bloated bureaucracy. They have 3,600 people that basically have to cover thousands and thousands of publicly traded companies, mutual funds, broker-dealers, all of these other ancillary self-regulating bodies. And, they could easily use 800 more people. I would argue that if they had a decent amount of people on their staff, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in today, and companies wouldn't be running roughshod, raising the national debt. If you want to do something for the taxpayer, I think the solution here would have the SEC to be self-funded, the FDIC or the Federal Reserve, and not have the taxpayers be involved at all.
Wow. Now, there's an interesting idea. So, too many folks or not enough folks when it comes to the SEC?
Definitely way too many folks. I mean, this is not something you do. First of all, this is an election year issue now because this is what Jimmy Carter did. Jimmy Carter went out there and said, we're going to grow, different sectors of the government. We're going to grow the government, And he ended up losing 4 years. Not to mention, I like what Ron Paul said about this. He said, grow the regulation in terms of fight the problems that exist, but please just do not grow this bureaucracy anymore. You can do it by using existing regulations.
And I think, if they could also just have people with more experience, higher experience levels, you find this tends to be an entry-level vocation. That's what causes
and I would concede to Al that we could add an additional 800, but we'd have to take that 800 and reduce that 800 somewhere else so to even it out. We don't want to grow the bureaucracy overall.
How about the IRS?
All right, let's move on. A man trying to recover from losing his business in a flood turned to Craigslist for help. He said he put down $25,000 on a hot dog shop in Tennessee and began selling dogs successfully, that is, until the real owner walked in and asked what Bob DeLuca was doing behind the counter. Al?
This is another one of those amazing deals, Jerry. I don't know how you find these. We were talking earlier about a guy that broke into a bar and was selling drinks out of the bar, and I don't know, there's some other similar stories. I guess if you could just take over a business and sell it and it's not really your business, more power to you.
All right, Lindsay?
You got to feel bad for this
Where was
guy.
the
Here's
SEC?
someone who fell deep into a hole, and he's trying to dig himself out. But look, he ran a viable business, a successful business. So the fact that he didn't know all of the details in terms of documents, in terms of getting a lawyer to make sure the transaction was legal, you've got to question what kind of guy this was.
Sure, it's entrepreneurial spirit. Sounds good. I mean, there's a similar story with the Starbucks. 2 robbers went to rob the Starbucks. They got $10 out of the register, said, heck, I'm going to wait through rush hour, sell more coffee, and actually bring the money back and have more money. So, I mean, it's that entrepreneurial spirit even in stupid people in America. But
Yeah, it comes
it
into the
thrives.
category stupid criminal story.
Stupid criminals.
All right. So we've got one more story we're going to try to squeeze in here. A Chicago woman has actually invented the emergency bra that can be used as both an undergarment and a gas mask. Dr. Elena Bodner says she was inspired by the pictures of people running away from the World Trade Towers on 9/11. You can buy the bra, but only in a B or C cup size for the low price of $29.95. I can't believe we're telling people this at ebra.com. Lindsay, since you're possibly a bra wearer, what do you think?
You know, actually, that answered one of our questions back in the green room. We were discussing what service an A cup would possibly provide. So now that we've narrowed it down to just B and C cups. But look, there is some seriousness. There is a market for personal protection. We carry mace. We carry pocket knives. So.
Right.
There's certainly a market for this, and it's great that there's a small business out there actually growing in these times.
You got to tell me, what do you think, buddy?
All I could say is, oh, baby, all I was trying to do was get a breath of fresh air. They should have kept this as Victoria's Secret. I don't know what is going to become of this, but I suppose it's better than putting your shorts over your head.
Good point. Paul?
Well, you know what? I've got a big face, so I need a D cup, so this wouldn't work for me anyway. Hence, in the choice of women I have. So, you know, that's it. But that's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, you know, we probably shouldn't say that much more about the story, period, right? Listen, thanks, guys. Al, Lindsay, Paul, great job today.
Thank you.
Are you as safe using your debit card as you are with your credit card? Next, John Eltoner joins us with a look at the different kind of pain each possesses. Stay with Fox Business, the power to prosper.